Okay. Now you can make the intro.
We're doing a FNAF tier list. Alright, let's get
All right. Where should we put the first game?
the first game, a classic. A,
I'm thinking. Indeed.
hold on, wait, let me scale it down to
I'm
50
thinking the
others.
first game should be like A tier.
It was pretty good.
I'm thinking the first game goes in A.
It defined
First game's good.
it defined the series, and it was a good game, and I liked it.
Really, it did define the series and a lot of horror genres in general.
Well, yeah,
Basically, like the YouTube horror. Like other than Slender, I think that FNAF was like one of the one of the biggest genre definers.
oh yeah, yeah, totally. And also, like, I don't know. There's just something I like about it. Like it wasn't so lore driven.
It's got a charm. It's got a charm. All the lore
Yeah.
is like, well, none of the games really were that lore driven.
Well, yeah.
That's all for like if
Except
you're looking in
for
the background. We
except
see them as
for
lore driven
uh
because of how big it
except
was.
for except for
Sister location in Pete.
yeah.
Sister location in Pizza Sim.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, there's a certain charm to FNAF too. It just
FNAF 2?
oh, I meant FNAF 1.
FNAF 2, yeah. FNAF 2, I don't really like personally as much as FNAF 1.
Hmm.
However, as far as like a game goes, it is indeed better. Although it
Eh,
can get very hard at times.
yeah. I
Say
mean,
I'd say FNAF 2. I'd say put it in A.
yeah. Yeah.
It's
I'd say
around
it's just about the same.
I find it
Like it
equal to the first one. The first one is really unique. FNAF 2 is just like an expansion on it, but like because
yeah.
of how hard it is, I see it as around the same as 1.
Yeah. It was more an
Although
expansion of
objectively
FNAF
it's
1. It
better.
doesn't have that charm though.
Yeah, one's charm I feel outweighs two's charm, but two has a lot.
Yeah. 2
Two has
2
quite a
drove the
lot,
story
and
along.
it introduced quite a lot of series staples like Puppet,
Yeah.
Balloon Boy. Balloon Boy not as much, but Puppet
Yeah.
was like
Puppet
the
is
game
the
changer.
like
And
the
as far as the
biggest
lore
thing.
goes, it basically introduced everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. It got everything. It got the ball rolling on everything.
Puppet is like one of the biggest
Yeah.
characters.
Okay, FNAF 3.
F3, I'm gonna say C or D. Bring that back up.
Yeah,
I'll say D
D.
or like D. Yeah, D. None of these games really feel like F tiers
I'm
or
making
E
the
or F.
case for
None of them
F.
really feel like E or F.
I'm making the case for F. Actually, you know what? Yeah, D.
Like there's not enough games. There's
Yeah.
not enough bad games.
Yeah, there's not an F game would be like the worst game of all time. It'd be like E.T. I guess. But you know, like
C, yeah.
FNAF 3.
I'm gonna say D for that.
At least it had some, I don't know, spooky visuals. I
F3 was
suppose.
it was good. It was good visually.
Yeah.
But now FNAF 4. I'm gonna say S tier for FNAF 4.
S tier. Really.
And S tier. There's a face cam in that picture.
I know, and a Bandicam logo.
I'm gonna say S tier for FNAF 4 because FNAF 4 was easily the scariest game in the franchise.
Eh,
Like its
yeah.
reliance on audio, its
Yeah.
reliance on audio really like prompts you to the jump scares, and it's just visually, it is beautiful. It's pretty beautiful. Like FNAF 3, I'd say is better visuals, but
Yeah.
FNAF 4, it looks good,
It does.
and like
It
it's
was also
the
pretty
designs are
frightening.
really solid in this one. It's a nice breath of fresh air for the series, and it's scary. It is
Yeah.
quite terrifying.
Yeah.
It's easily
Yeah.
it's the scariest of the original 4.
Yeah. If you
And
could
I'd say
call
the whole
any of these
series, actually.
scary, that'd be it.
Yeah.
Um.
All right, FNAF World.
Oh yeah.
I'd say FNAF World is like. I don't know if with FNAF World would be like A or S.
I'm saying S, just because it was such a good game.
Indeed.
I mean, like, if you're talking about like a Five Nights at Freddy's game, I mean, it wasn't scary, but that was the point.
Yeah.
If you're
All right, sister location.
all right, FNAF, but
Oh, let's talk more about
let me
FNAF
talk about
World.
FNAF World
It's
some more. So, it was a good game. It was original. It was fun. It was, I don't know, it was meta, I guess, if you like that. It was...
World felt like a nice like change of pace after
Yeah.
4. After 4, people were getting sick of scary,
Yeah, we
and
need
like
something.
Sister Location was coming up. Wait, I want to talk more about FNAF World. Put it back.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk more about FNAF World. FNAF World was like, I didn't really play through all of FNAF World. I didn't look up people's playthroughs of it. I wasn't as
Yeah.
big into it as other people were.
I got,
But like what I played of FNAF World, it was fun.
I got
It was a
pretty far
fun.
into it.
That was a fun New Year's. I
Dude.
didn't play it until New Year's Eve
Yeah, it was fun.
of It was like New Year's Eve of 2017, 2018, around that. Not 2018, 2017.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve 2017, I'd say. That was when I played it. It was very fun.
Oh, yeah, it was very
I
fun.
didn't get very far. It was fun. It was very fun to like, just like walking around and like suddenly a thing appears and then you can join your party. That felt like
Yeah.
Pokemon, and that's my
Yeah,
favorite part of
yeah.
Pokemon.
Except cooler Pokemon.
My favorite part
'cause
of
you
Pokemon
already
is
know these
going out and then
characters. It was like Pokemon, but it was
Yeah,
cooler
my favorite
'cause you
part
already know.
Yeah, my favorite part of Pokemon is like going out into the thick grass and then seeing a Pokemon you like, and you're like, I want that. I want it to be part of my team.
Yeah.
And then you get it, and it's like, yes, I got this, and now I can play with it for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And FNAF World is like that, but with FNAF characters.
Yeah.
It was and it introduced the themes that I liked most about Sister Location and Pizza Simulator,
Mm.
which is like the cheesy, like arcadey, like
Yeah.
like
The
sort of
others didn't really
self-aware,
have
but
that.
like yeah, the original 4 didn't really have that, but like post FNAF 4, they all had it.
Yeah.
FNAF 4's the remnants of FNAF 4 contributed to all 3 games that preceded it, or came after, not preceded. Precedes first. All 3 of the games that came after, FNAF World really had an impact on.
Indeed.
And
And like,
Sister Location.
and like the clocks, that was a fun mechanism. I like that. Oh man, dude, I was.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the Atari stuff in FNAF 2. We forgot to talk about the Atari stuff.
Dude, I was watching Matt Pat live when he figured out the clock thing.
Wow.
It was
Okay, we
so
got to talk
wild.
about the before we move on. We have to talk about the Atari stuff in FNAF 2 because I forgot to talk about that.
The mini games. I think I mentioned it briefly.
That's a huge part of FNAF now. We sort of take it for granted, but FNAF 2,
Yeah.
that was brand new. Like it was good. The
Yeah.
Atari stuff was like it's super unsettling.
It was so different.
Like it works really well, and it became a series staple.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
when you
'cause
see like an Atari
Because in
style
FNAF
movie
1,
now, you
the most lore we got in FNAF 1 was the newspaper clippings.
the 5 children dead. In FNAF 4, you were able to figure out the general story that a guy came and murdered some kids and stuffed them in the suits, and then they came to life. It was pretty simple.
Yeah. Well, then.
But then FNAF
came
2, we got a
Dream
whole
Theory.
more
Then came Dream Theory versus whatever other theory it was.
FNAF 4, but FNAF 2, it introduced everything else. It introduced the first kill with the puppet. It gave us more info about it. It gave us the puppet in general, like, and of course FNAF 3, the Atari style was made really well in FNAF 3.
Oh yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite parts of FNAF 3 was the Atari stuff. The stuff with Springtrap was good in FNAF 3.
Yeah.
That was good. Like,
Oh
how,
dude, didn't we talk
guy
about the
went into
visuals?
Springtrap.
We didn't elaborate on that. There was that one mini game with
yeah,
with
FNAF
the
3
with
is
Marionette
gorgeous.
crying. That was really cool. I like that.
What about like Puppet standing in the hallway and then he's got the reflection? He's the only one with
Oh,
the
yeah.
reflection.
Yeah. he was
Him and
the only
Springtrap
one-
are the only ones with reflections.
only
The
one
rest
that was
don't 'cause they're
solid.
phantom. But Puppet's real.
Yeah.
Puppet is real. That's interesting. That's actually more unsettling than Springtrap himself. Is
It
that
is.
just puppets there?
Yeah. Or when he
It
was.
was,
coming up
quite
out of-
it was pretty unsettling.
Yeah, very. We're not talking about.
All right,
FNAF
Sister
3.
Location.
Sister Location.
I got quite the opinion on Sister Location.
Yeah, let's pick this thing apart.
Okay, so first let's talk about the good. Let's talk about the good of Sister Location. It's very unique.
Yeah.
It's probably the most unique, other than FNAF World, it's probably the most unique game.
Yeah,
in the
it was a
franchise.
whole new system of doing things. Whole new.
Like each night is different. It's not like
Yeah.
the arcade style of the previous 4.
But is
It's
that
like-
necessarily a good thing?
That is up to opinion. That right there.
Yeah.
Like I liked Sister Location, but as far as replayability goes, it is not replayable at all.
It is not. Once you've done something, you've done it.
And, like the other 4 games, you can play them multiple times, but like
Yeah, because there's still
with
the...
Sister Location,
No. because once you
Sister
know what to
Location's
do,
story, like everything.
yeah,
Yeah, like it's not really. I like it. It's a good the first time, a few times later. Like the more you play it, the less you like it. However,
can we talk about
a bunch of
Regessa?
other things. That was I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, I
The
barely
story
know
of Sister
anything
Location.
about the lore.
Story of Sister Location confuses me.
I barely know anything about the lore because that was about the time where I was like, this is old. I'm gonna play Undertale now.
I understand a few things. It did help make it made stuff interesting. Like, okay, so overall, Sister Location, it's got. Okay, this is something I've been wanting to talk about.
Yeah.
Sister Location introduced the music.
Oh yeah.
The music.
You're right.
The music slaps. The music is so good.
It's popping.
Like, Sister Location's got some pretty good music. Like, the previous games used like classical music box covers, like Regina.
Yeah.
But with Sister Location, they introduced some music box covers, like Valora's song was completely original.
Yeah, that was.
And
I was
then-
listening to that yesterday. It was pretty good.
And then you got the dark ambient stuff, like Watch Your Six. Watch Your Six
Watch
is
Your Six.
so good. And like the music of Sister Location was okay. Like they were just starting to figure stuff out. But then that goes into Pizza Simulator. We'll talk about that when we get to Pizza Sim.
Yeah.
I want to go over some more Sister Location stuff. We'll get back to the music. So Sister Locations, I'm going to go for a little review of Sister Location right now.
That's
The base game. The base game is Sister Location. It's decently fun. Like it's pretty scary because like now with the other games you had to you stayed in your room and you had like that sense of control sort of still
Yeah.
despite being trapped. With Sister Location, you're forced to go out into the open with the enemy.
Yeah.
It's a similar situation to
like you gotta stand
what's
there
it
and
called?
do
Joy
the
Creation.
stuff while the dude's right there, and you don't know.
Joy
what
of
to do.
Creation.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to talk about Joy of Creation. That's a FNAF. We should make a fan game tier list.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of
We'll
them.
talk about Boogeyman in that one.
I'm just gonna go over a brief. I'm gonna go over a brief thing of Joy Creation right now. Okay, back to Sister Location.
Yeah.
I feel like the mission where you're going through Ballura's gallery to get to Funtime Freddy's area.
Wasn't
That is super unsettling because you can see Ballura twisting around and like you hear the song. That goes into the like audio stuff that was introduced in 4.
Yeah.
Like where the louder like you could hear it in the distance, and then as it gets closer, you gotta like stop and like be super careful. You can crawl, but if you run, it alerts her. It's super spooky because like if you stop, and like you can see her go right in front of you.
Yeah.
And the song in general is unsettling.
You know something.
And then
else
you
I
get to
noticed?
Freddy's room. Freddy is standing right there in front of you.
Oh
You,
yeah.
like you have to flash the light to see him there. It's pretty scary. Like FNAF 3, it's pretty scary. Like there's not much else. Oh my god, have you seen the mini arena section?
Yeah.
Where
I
you're
saw
inside the
Markiplier
Springlock
play
suit?
at Sister Location.
The mini arena section is where you're stuck inside the Springlock suit.
Yeah.
That's very difficult section. That's not really I didn't really see that as fun. That was more difficult, like. But like it's scary looking. It's very scary visually. And then there's nothing really else to say about the base game.
There's not much.
The base game other than that, there's
There's
nothing
much
else to it.
continuity.
however,
You know, like it's a new.
Yeah,
thing every single
that's why
time.
there's multiple endings to it. You got the real ending and the fake ending.
Yeah, and then there's Ennard.
And then you get to the Ennard stuff. The Ennard is the fake ending, but I feel like Ennard is where the game is like truly like shines there. That's when you go back to the classic FNAF formula
Oh yeah.
of like
yeah,
being
yeah.
stuck in the room.
Yeah.
I love that part. It's very difficult, but like it's so good. Like you have this area. It has Watch Your Six playing in the background,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite songs in the series.
The
And
theme
then,
song,
like-
the camera sort of reminds me of Phantom Marionette in FNAF 3.
Like I gotta talk about this after I talk about Ennard. So with Ennard, like, and then you get it's like a mixture of all the games, and then there's that you got Golden Freddy plushie on the desk from FNAF 4's mini games. You're finally seeing that 3D rendered, and then you type in the code 1983 and you see the FNAF 4 rooms, which is really weird for the lore.
Oh yeah.
That goes into the purple guy stuff,
Oh,
trying to
my gosh.
resurrect his kid, which
We'll
I
talk
like
about
that.
the lore
I-
later. should be
I
a
feel
fun
like
thing.
Purple Guy trying to resurrect his kid, that's like the typical like sci-fi, like Frankenstein sort of thing, and that makes sense for
Yeah.
FNAF. That makes sense. I feel like that fits with the first 4.
I mean, it sort of already
Circus
was that
Baby and stuff.
Frankenstein thing, because Marionette was already trying to do that.
And then in Pizza Simulator, Candy Cadet went in. Oh wait, did you see the ending?
No, I haven't finished.
Did you watch the true ending though?
Nah, I didn't. Whatever. You
No?
can say it now. I'll watch
That's a
it after
cinematic
this.
ending I was
I'll
talking
watch it
about.
after recording.
Okay, so I'll give you a rundown of Candy Cadet quick, because it's super hard to find his stuff. So all of Candy Cadet's stories are about someone they're being able to save multiple things, but instead of choosing to save one thing, they try to save all things at the same time, and it ends up being a mess. Nothing works. Like one of them is about there's kids trapped in a room of the burning house, and the caretaker has all the keys, but can only save one. It can only use one of the keys, but it has all the keys.
Right.
So it tries to melt all the keys together to use it infinitely, but then it can't open any of the doors. That one's eh. But then there's one about kittens. This guy, he has a bunch of kittens.
Yeah.
But then a snake comes and eats them all. He's
Oh.
presented, so he tries to he could save one of them,
Yeah.
but instead he tries sewing them all together to
Ah,
try to save them. It's weird. It's really weird. I'm having a hard time remembering them, but it's like messed up Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah.
That goes into the Purple Guy marionette stuff.
Yeah.
Back to FNAF sister location. Yeah, the Ennard stuff is fun.
Yeah.
And then that's all I really have to say about the Ennard. It's pretty good. Then I don't know if you knew about this. After FNAF sister location came out, they updated it to have called custom night
Oh, really? I didn't.
in the Ennard room. So in custom night you had it's pretty fun. It's just all the sister location stuff put into like a general FNAF formula. It's interesting to see how like Ballora and Baby and stuff all fit into like the classic thing, and then Ennard's also there
Yeah.
with that ultimate custom night. And then there's nothing really else to say there, but however, the cutscenes are interesting because we see what happened after. You know how in the ending he got scooped?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they said that they called it scoop. They show him slowly like deteriorate and become like purple,
Yeah, yeah.
and then he parks it all out and then becomes free again, like free will again.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
And so like that's rumored to be, and then like at the very end of that, after that, the very last night, the 2020 mode.
Yeah.
We get to see a normal thing of him talking. It turns
yeah.
out that this guy,
I remember that.
the guy that we were playing at, is not William Afton. It's Michael Afton,
Yeah, the dude's son.
and he's trying to go back to each location.
You're putting sister location in B. Okay, yeah,
Bruh,
that's where
shut.
it belongs. It
C,
belongs in the
C.
C.
Yeah, it's in a C. He's going back to each location to try to undo what William Afton did, Purple Guy.
Yeah.
He's trying to free them all.
He was like,
And then that
Fuck.
goes into Pizza Simulator. So anyways, with Michael Afton, I don't really know how this all fits in, but like we know that eventually something happened with him. He's not here anymore. And
Yeah.
by the time Pizza Sim comes around, it's not him.
How so?
Which is why I think that because in Pizza Sim, in the oh, you haven't seen the ending to Pizza Sim.
Yeah.
In the cinematic ending, they said, although this wasn't intended for you, we're like thankful for your efforts. Like,
Oh.
like it's a different guy in Pizza Sim.
Mm.
Although it might be Michael. I don't know exactly what's going on with that.
Yeah, we pretty
There's
much
lots
know
of room for
nothing about
theories.
the
FNAF
lore
is all about
from
theories.
from this point onward.
No, FNAF is meant for theories. You're meant to think about this for quite a while.
Well,
We're
yeah,
spending
that's-
too much time on sister location.
Yeah,
This is a
yeah.
good time to
Time for
segue
Pizza
to
Sim.
Pizza Sim.
Okay, Pizza Sim. It's a good
Okay.
game.
I want to put it at S. I want to put
Yeah,
Pizza Sim
so
at
do I.
S.
I mean, like, I haven't played much of it, but it's very fun. It's very fun.
I played a lot of Pizza Sim. Pizza Sim is the game I spent the most hours on out of all the FNAF games.
Okay, well, first of all,
Pizza Sim is very.
it did again. It did a nice
Do you want to say anything on Pizza Sim?
Yeah, yeah, I do. It did a nice job of masking what it really was. You know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but you knew that it was going to be a real game. I did not.
Okay, well, I did.
When I first got it, I got it when it first came out on Steam.
Yeah.
It was Scott announced that he made a little pizza simulator game that he was working on, like a fully fledged version of the Atari style game.
Yeah.
Put it on Steam for free, and I was like, yeah, I want to try that. It's free. I'll get that. And then I got it, and that's what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was at first. Then it changed into the fake out. That was fun, not knowing that it was gonna be a real game.
Replayability, seeing as it's you make your own restaurant and stuff.
And then like you got all the different endings. There's like 6, 8
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah. What else do I want to say?
Did not play the puppet minigame. I don't think you played the puppet minigame.
No, I played
Security.
I played the one with the car.
I love that one.
That song.
That one's interesting. I don't think we should talk about the lore involved in that minigame.
Yeah. I don't know anything about
That goes into like Henry and stuff.
it. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
I don't really want to get into Henry. Henry is like, do you know Henry? The Henry stuff?
I know some of it.
Henry is the guy that made the original animatronics before William Afton got his
Yeah.
hands on the stuff.
Yeah, I know.
He was the creative worker behind FNAF, or the Freddy's Pizza, and then FNAF, not FNAF. All the technical stuff, the business side of it was William Afton.
Yeah.
William Afton was this, like after he used. I'm assuming that William Afton was like a normal guy at first, before FNAF 4, 1983.
Is it 1983? Though? Is it a rerun?
FNAF 4, I think it is 1983. I think it kickstarts the whole thing.
Why?
FNAF 4, I think is first, because that's when William Afton's son dies.
Oh yeah.
I think that's when William became this murderer. Like he wanted to get children and attempt this whole thing, trying to resurrect his son with the Frankenstein sort of thing.
Oh yeah, that was
I think
the
that-
sister location stuff.
I think that FNAF 4 is where it all began, with his son dying.
All right, you know what? Yeah.
After all the trauma that FNAF that the Freddy's Pizza caused him, and then led to his death. That was the original Fredbear's Family Diner, which I believe was shut down due to the puppet incident, which we know was William. William came and murdered the kid, which was Henry's daughter. Henry's daughter was stuck outside. William murdered her. Then, which resulted in Henry trying to figure it out, and eventually figuring out that William was behind it, leading to him. By that point in time, William had like become Springtrap, so Henry devised Pizza Sim's trap. Have you seen Pizza Sim's trap?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay, so do you notice anything weird about the map?
Yeah, there's a big freaking hole right here.
Hole.
Yeah, that's
That hole is the restaurant itself. Notice how none of the air vents connect to the restaurant. They're all a separate thing.
Oh yeah.
That is because in the ending, once you have all of the animatronics captured inside, you have Baby, Puppet. Puppet is inside Lefty. Lefty was created to capture the puppet.
Yeah. I've seen that around.
Yeah, Lefty has the puppet in him. The original 4 animatronics have already been freed. And then you got Baby and William Afton inside Springtrap.
Yeah.
Funtime Freddy is entered. It is entered. I don't really know what's going on with him. I don't think there's any souls inside of him.
Yeah, I've seen that around.
I think that's just the AI. That's just the AI being destroyed.
Right.
'Cause they're too smart.
So basically, everyone that was
And then, like,
left.
Everyone that was left after the original 4 were freed.
Right. Okay.
Because remember how when Mike went to FNAF 2, he didn't succeed there. The other 4 he destroyed in FNAF 1, but Puppet was still left over. He was still in FNAF 2, and then FNAF 3 came along. I think that FNAF 3 was also Mike because he attempted to burn it down but then didn't succeed.
Right.
Both Puppet and the guy were left down. And we learned in FNAF 3 that the original souls have been set free. then in Pizza Simulator, Henry created Pizza Simulator. We know this for a fact. This was in the ending. Henry created the Pizza Simulator map. He created the room as a trap. In the ending for Pizza Simulator, in the cinematic ending, once everybody is trapped in, it confirms the theory about Puppet being the kid that died in
FNAF 4.
that was killed outside Fredbear's Family Diner. It confirms that William Afton is Springtrap. Yeah, it confirms everything. It confirms that all the people in there. It confirms that the original 4 were set free, and that all the other people in there are the other people murdered.
Right. Okay.
FNAF, the crying child from FNAF 4, he already moved on. He was never in an animatronic.
Yeah, because of the psych.
That's why William Afton he could not revive him. He never succeeded at reviving him. And then Springtrap escaped. Springtrap and Puppet both escaped from the burning building in FNAF 3, but with this, they were trapped inside. Henry had devised this specifically to destroy them.
Right.
Because by this point in time, Henry had figured it out. And then he knew that Mike was trying to do this, so he made this for Mike. So I think that either he or Mike, like, somebody was meant to be in here. It might have been Mike. I don't know if you're playing as Mike or not. I think he might just be playing as you. I think that it was meant to be you who are making this pizzeria, not Mike. And then it was meant for Mike, but you, the player, are like the person who is tasked with destroying FNAF.
Right.
Like a sort of semi-meta thing.
Which is
Like
too
this
bad 'cause
person
it
you're controlling
keeps going on.
Yeah, you created. Like you were in this game, you were given responsibility. You were able to do whatever you wanted with your pizzeria, and now you are the one to destroy FNAF. You're the one to set all the souls free. You, the player.
Right. Right.
Like it's a semi-meta thing. And then like, so I think Mike was supposed to be there. Mike is still out there now. I don't know what he's doing.
He's hanging out.
Maybe he
far from
died.
Wrenches.
He might have died some other way. William might have killed him. Oh, I think I figured it out. I think in FNAF 3, Michael was the guy you're playing as, and then he died in the fire. William survived.
Yes. Yes.
I think that works. I think that works.
And like I said,
And then
video
in
we'll
Pizza
play
Simulator,
later.
yeah, you made and then you got trapped inside. You burned with William Afton and all the other guys, and then they were set free. And that goes into Ultimate Custom Night. Ultimate Custom Night is William Afton's hell.
All right. Yeah. We're doing Ultimate Custom Night. Is that canon?
Kind of. It's William Afton's hell.
So like after he dies, he's just hanging
After he
out
dies,
with
he's
all
stuck
his
in the pit of
creations.
hell that Henry mentioned. Henry said, "For the rest of the souls, I hope you can find peace, and for one of you, the darkest pit of hell awaits." And that's what Ultimate Custom Night is William Afton's hell.
Well, let's talk about the actual game.
Game for Pizza Sim? Alright. Pizza Sim is a very fun game.
Yeah.
Like being able to make your own. It's like FNAF World mixed with the original game. Or not the original game, FNAF 4.
Yeah.
It's more like FNAF 4 with audio-based stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the gameplay first, or should I? I've already
I mean,
rambled
I
on
guess.
for like quite a while.
I don't know. It's fun. There's a lot of different ways to do it, so that goes into the replayability thing. Because there's always more decisions to be made. You know, will you salvage? Will you do the advertisements? Buying upgrades, etc. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played it that much, so.
Pizza Simulator, the ability to create everything, it doesn't really have that much of an impact on the game except for like advertisements and the liability.
But it's fun.
Liability will let animatronics that you throw back into the dump, they still have a chance of getting in if your liability is high.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
And so if you have high liability, that might happen. Salvaging stuff, that is a big part. You get
Yeah,
money
that's-
for your pizzeria.
Yeah, that's nice.
Salvaging is a huge part because then that's what leads into the actual FNAF gameplay. The more you salvage, the more animatronics you salvage, they are in and you have to worry about. You have to salvage all of them in order to get the true ending.
Right.
And yeah,
Also,
that's the
I
thing.
was watching
The general
I was watching a video on Pizza
Yeah?
Sim, and it was like, it was better than all the others because nothing was sure to work. Like, things might work, but not always. So there's always a question of whether or not whatever you're doing is indeed going to work.
That puts you on the edge of the that still makes it a horror game.
Yeah,
You don't like sometimes it just doesn't work.
yeah,
It's like a toned down version of the RNG of the original 4, except correlated to your decisions rather than the AI of the animatronics. Like, there's a lot of choice in Pizza Simulator. What I like most about it is that you can play the game completely animatronic. Well, I mean, there's no guarantee. One might sneak in. But for the most part, you can play it completely animatronic free. You can not salvage any of the animatronics and try to focus purely on staying, like, alive without having to resort to salvage. And then you get the ads and stuff. If you have no animatronics, you can take all the ads you want, though.
yeah. Although,
Because ads, they give you money. However, they make your screen freeze. So that's another element of choice there
yeah,
that affects the gameplay. It's really good at taking like the typical pizza simulator, like pizzeria simulator stuff, and bringing it into the FNAF gameplay.
yeah.
And then you get the inside the pizza simulator itself. Your whole goal is to make money so that you don't get bankrupt and you lose the game.
Yeah.
Because like, if you go bankrupt, you lose. You have to start again. And then like it works to that, and then it's just generally fun. It's generally fun to organize, like make your own pizza simulator, like all other pizzeria simulators. It's all about the fun part of making your own pizzeria.
Yeah.
And that's where the funnies come in. That's where the jokey ha-has come in.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the FNAF world sort of jokes. They're all in there.
yeah. Like, there's not many jokes.
They're all in the
rest of them. But
Yeah.
World, and
FNAF
Pizza
World and
Simulator,
Pizzeria Simulator.
they're fun.
They have a lot of jokes.
Yeah,
They are fun. With Pizzeria Simulator, you get all the like the sarcastic narrator that was introduced in FNAF
Yeah.
6. No, which
I think it was
Sim,
Pizza
Sister Location. Sister Location. That's 5, right? Sister Location's 5.
Was he in Sister Location?
Sister Location is 5.
Oh, yeah, I meant the narrator.
Narrator from Sister Location. He's come like his sarcasticness, like the sarcastic narrator. He's in Pizzeria Simulator.
He's also in VR.
In Sister Locations, he's also in oh yeah, that's right. I haven't played VR. Should we put that on this one? It's more of a remake of the original games,
Let's
though.
not put it on, because none of us have experience with it.
And it's a remake of the original 4.
Well, yeah, plus glitch trap.
What is up with that? I have not seen anything about that.
I watched part of MatPat's video on it. Basically, sometimes he'll come around, and it's like it's a whole new thing to free yourself from a VR game. Whole new thing, whole new people to save.
I don't think it's canon though,
Yeah, I don't think.
especially since it wasn't made by Scott. It was made by a different studio.
Yeah, much like the books.
Yeah, well, the books are kind of real.
Well,
After I think, okay, so I'm gonna talk about the books here. Custom Nighttime. I played this game. I played it once.
was
Played
it
Ultimate
good?
Custom Night once.
Was it good?
I didn't really play it too much. I played it a little bit. I turned on like Freddy and stuff. I can't really say much about Custom Night. I'd say put it in like B.
B. It was like.
It's just like
It was good, but it
it's
didn't
fun
do
at
much.
first.
Didn't do much
it's a
for the
novel
franchise.
concept. Yeah, it's a novel concept, but like as far as the game goes, you play it once and then you never touch it again.
Like Sister Location.
There's not really much to say on Ultimate Custom Night.
Right.
Because there's not much to it. It's just all these characters slapped into one big
Yeah.
custom night.
It's a nice
William
idea,
Afton's Hell.
but it's not exactly like revolutionary or anything.
50-20 mode. That's 50-20 AIs. It's basically impossible. I'm pretty sure like only 1 or 2 people ever beat it.
That's wild. I wonder if Markiplier did. If he didn't, then he's no longer the king.
He hasn't been the king in a while. That's sad. Yeah, there's not really much to say on Ultimate Custom Night. I think it's a nice in-between the series. Like, you got
It's literally
the best ones, the worst ones, and then you got Ultimate Custom Night right in between.
Right. Alright, well.
I have rambled quite a lot about
Yeah,
post
dude.
FNAF 4
This is
stuff.
pretty much your video.
Whoa, my channel now.
No.
It's www.pp.com.
Oh man, my bad. My bad.
Get it right. Get it right.
Yeah, get it right, people.
Get
He's
it right.
PP.
Get it right.
Got him.
I'm a P. My name is PP, and I live in PP.
Wow, that's my favorite state.
Private parking. Yeah, private parking. It's like Jersey, but private.
It's private New Jersey. All right, well,
Private New Jersey.
that was that.
All right. I just want to put Silver Eyes on there. I want to put Silver Eyes on like
All right.
C.
Okay. We'll
Plop Silver Eyes on there.
we'll put Silver Eyes in here.
Or can we put Twisted Ones down in F?
Yeah, yeah.
Silver Eyes. There we go. There they are.
There's Silver Eyes.
Silver Eyes.
Twisted ones.
Down at the F. F. Make it a big twisty line.
There
The
he
Twisted
is.
Ones. Alright. Yeah, I hate Twisted Ones. we could make a whole video just me ranting about how bad Twisted Ones is. There we go. So to wrap things up, we got FNAF 4, FNAF World, and Pizza Sim are the best ones. And then you got 1 and 2. They're pretty good.
They're good.
I like them
I
a
like
lot.
them. I like them all.
Ultimate Custom Night's okay. Sister Location, it's got some good parts, it's got some bad parts. Silver Eye, same thing, it's got some good parts, got some bad parts. 3 is boring, but it's got some redeeming qualities. Nothing in E. There's not really any E-rated FNAF stuff.
And
Twisted Ones is
Ones
complete
have
garbage and should burn.
Just like
Twisted Ones is
multiple
complete
restaurants
garbage.
in the series.
None of the children will ever survive. Ever.
Here, hold on. Let's just
Alright,
cut it off completely.
get rid of A. Get rid of E. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
You got rid of F. You got rid of
Yeah,
kill
I know.
kill Twisted Ones.
Yeah,
It's gone.
It's
It's
gone.
gone.
It's gone. Gone.
It's gone.
All right.
Alright,
It was fun.
that'll be it for today's rant.
Bye.
The first book, Silver Eyes. Silver Eyes was good.
do you
The
own
Twisted Ones and everything after were terrible. I hated Twisted Ones and everything else because it was so weird. It was so weird and like it was like Sister Location amped up to 1 billion. Because at least Sister Location makes sense. With Silver Eyes, they provided a lot of good info that we needed, like Henry and William Afton. William Afton being Purple Guy being the brains behind Freddy Pizza Sim, or not Pizza Sim, Freddy's Pizzeria.
Yeah.
And then Henry being like the nice guy, the guy that like the good guy and the bad guy running the company. He made all the animatronics and then everything was corrupted.
It's kind of like Fire.
He had the daughter that died.
Kind of like Rock.
Silver Eyes was Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, kind of like. 'cause
Or like
Chuck E.
yeah,
Cheese was
Showbiz
the
and
one.
Aaron being like Henry, and then
Yeah.
the uppers at Showbiz being like William Afton. Silver Eyes was really good. Have you read Silver Eyes?
I have read none of them.
Twisted Ones was terrible. Don't read it. But Silver Eyes was good. Silver Eyes was like after the stuff happened where the children were murdered. The pizzeria was shut down. Henry died. Oh, in FNAF World, we realized that we know that about Henry's death.
Yeah.
Henry created Pizza Simulator before he died, because everything in Pizzeria Simulator is a recording from
Wait.
Henry.
Hold up. FNAF World. Is that canon? Because I know he
Not
died.
entirely.
I know he died in it, but.
It's the only canon part of FNAF World.
Oh.
Everything else in FNAF World was not canon, except for that part where we know about Henry dying. That was the only canon part. So we learned about Henry in Silver Eyes. We learned Silver Eyes is generally it was a really fun book to read. In Silver Eyes, like there's this janitor.
Yeah.
We're slowly learning out the path. We're slowly learning about what happened.
Yeah.
But all the stuff that happened was like a retelling of the original 4 FNAF games. And then it leads into Sister Location somewhat, like revealing us to the stuff about William Afton.
Don't they go to the basement?
Yeah, they go to the basement and they find stuff. Silver Eyes. I liked Silver Eyes. Okay, there's this one part where like they're going in and out of the pizzeria, like they see the animatronics there, and like nothing much happens. But they meet the janitor, they meet the security guard of the mall, which like they describe him as being really weird, like super thin, and like almost fake looking, and like they go back. Charlie, which is the main character. Okay, that's where one of the books. That's where the book is different.
Yeah, it's a girl.
The book is not entirely. In the book, Charlie is still alive, and her brother was murdered outside of the original. In your actual FNAF, there's only one kid, Charlie, that was murdered. But in order to have a protagonist, they made Charlie alive and the brother die.
Right.
Just so that we could have a protagonist that was still connected to that. So she goes back to the original place. She finds out that like her brother was murdered outside the thing. She didn't really know because she was so little, but when she got there, she got a flashback to it, and like she found out. That's just an excuse for the reader to find out, really.
That doesn't make sense.
It's just, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but it's fun. It's fun to find out as the reader that she was connected to the original murder.
Right.
And then they go back to the thing. Some of the gang, the kid squad, they go inside the pizzeria again. One of them is kidnapped by the security guard. Which like, and he's the kid that's kidnapped. He's put into a spring-lock suit.
Oh, no.
And we find out, and he's like, and the guard's like, if this thing snaps on you, you might not die, but like, your organs will be like crushed. And he's like, how do you know? It seems like you would die. And then he took off his shirt, and he had scars all over him. He's like, because I've survived one of these things before. And then we find out that that's William Afton surviving the Springtrap thing. In the book version of the universe, he survived. In the games, he died and it haunted it.
Yeah.
But because this is where the books are different, he's still alive in the books.
Right.
And then he traps him inside a different spring-lock suit. And then the other gang come back, and then the animatronics come to life. Like it does a sort of Night of the Museum thing, where they're walking through the thing and then they come back and they're gone, and then they hear noises down the hallway and they go and they see it moving around. And then Foxy, they made Foxy terrifying because he has the claw. Like with the rest of the animatronics, like they're not really super dangerous. Like when you think about them, like their flat teeth are going to bite me. But Foxy's claw, it pierces through flesh. Like they literally describe it swinging and piercing through flesh.
Yeah, his hook.
They made Foxy scary. Like, and then they have like all the different guys going around. Chica's in the kitchen. Bonnie and Freddy are like chasing them in the bathroom and around the stages and stuff. Under the tables, they have to crawl under the table, and like he lifts up the curtain, and like I have to do the thing where they run around the tables.
That'd be pretty funny.
It's fun. But then in the ending, like they break down the wall of the pizzeria and try to leave, and then like the other animatronics are there, and then Springtrap comes over. And like he's like, we are all like to say, and it does some weird stuff. But then like the police come in, and so Springtrap just tries to go over to kill him. Like he just goes to straight up kill him. But then they kick him, and his spring locks activate, and then William Afton dies in the book version from the second dose of Springtrap's spring locks to him. And then like the other animatronics, like they're basically freed. They go back inside, and that's where that ends. Like. It's all about just like retelling of that. It's super simple. Like all the stuff I described, those are the only few changes from the books that it's not canon. The only stuff that's canon is the William Afton and Henry stuff. But then like everything else is just changes meant for the book to be enjoyable, like a nice like sort of retelling of the events of Freddy's, but like in a book.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Twisted Ones is garbage. Twisted Runs made everything confusing. I do not count that as canon whatsoever. And I don't think Scott does either, because it's just he never mentions it ever again. Silver Eyes, like with Henry and William Afton and stuff, like that stuff, we know that's real.
Yeah.
We know that Charlie is the girl that died in the front. We know that this stuff is real. But then Twisted Ones, Scott never mentions, because it's so garbage. The Twisted Ones is where I feel like the author of the original one took full control. Because in the original, Scott gave her a bunch of like plot stuff, and then she wrote it. But in Twisted One, she had like full control, and it was garbage.
Custom night.
So yeah, that's the Silverized.